Hey everybody, it's Melissa and I'm going to be doing an unboxing of L'Homme by YSL. In fact, I actually had this fragrance before, but I gave it away to somebody. And I'm really happy to have another bottle here in the collection because this is a type of scent that for me is unforgettable. It's not the type of fragrance that I find to be very generic, especially in terms of standard designer fragrances. So I'm going to give a quick review because I can't wait to smell this. You know what I mean? So here it is. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. Hold on. Let's see. One moment. It's exactly how I remember it. All right. So this L'Homme is a ginger fragrance. To me, that is the biggest note here that makes a difference on my skin. It's the one that I pick up on the most. And it's just, I don't know what it is about ginger heavy fragrances or ginger dominant fragrances, but I tend to really gravitate towards them and like them typically when I smell them. Also, other notes that are pretty noticeable on me are maybe a little bit of cedar. There's some bergamot and some lemon to really add to the freshness of this fragrance. I believe there's also vetiver, but vetiver I'm not really picking up too much on. Tonka bean is also another one that doesn't really become prominent on my skin, but those are notes that are listed with this fragrance. So L'Homme is just an extremely versatile fragrance. Now this is labeled as a masculine scent, but to be completely honest, I find this to be very unisex. I know that there are very feminine women that like to wear this fragrance and they smell great. I also know there's a lot of masculine people that enjoy this as well. But if you are looking for a more masculine fragrance, then I would suggest going with La Nuit de l'Homme instead, which is a fragrance I've done tons of reviews on. I've talked about it so many times, probably in hundreds of my videos. But if you want, again, something more masculine, more nighttime-ish, then go with La Nuit. But L'Homme is a very easy to love fragrance. There is nothing complex about this scent. Everything about it to me screams timeless. It's classic, and it's still a modern fragrance, but it doesn't smell like your typical modern blue fragrances you have nowadays like Sauvage, Y by YSL, Bleu de Chanel, things like that. There's something about it that even if you were to smell this in the early 2000s, like when it came out in 2006, it's still going to be good. Something you could smell 20 years down the line and rock as your signature scent, and it's still going to be relevant in that day and age, you know? So something that is completely wearable, pretty much for any single situation. To me, this is an all-weather type of fragrance. I don't think it is something I would never pull for in the summer. In fact, it's still warm outside today, and you saw me just spray it right now, and I am going to go work out after this. But it's not like this is not like a huge summertime or wintertime fragrance. It can work in those situations and it's still gonna smell good, but I don't label this as like a certain seasonal type of scent. You know what I mean? There's definitely gonna be better summer fragrances out there that go more on the fresh, clean side, but this to me just has the versatility that can be worn with any sort of occasion. Now, the downside with L'Homme is the performance. All right, the performance of this fragrance, gosh, you know what? On myself, with what I remember, I could still smell this on me maybe 4 or 5-ish hours after I applied it. For some reason, this and La Nuit tend to do pretty, tend to do pretty well on my skin. But then again, the more I think about it, I do have a tendency to overspray these fragrances. Actually, hold on, let me retract that statement, because when I just wear it casually, I do about 5 sprays and I could still smell it on myself between those 4 to 5 hours. But when I do overspray it, that's when I'm trying to make sure that this lasts the whole night, like if I'm going out somewhere, you know. But generally speaking, people probably only get a couple hours. This is just based off the opinions of like previous comments under my videos. They probably have only gotten an average of about 2 to 3 hours of wear time, noticeable wear time with this fragrance. So please Do not be afraid to overspray this. This isn't the type of scent that's gonna give you a headache. It's not the type of fragrance that people are gonna get nauseated with, because I don't know, I find this just to be sensual, and it's still clean. You know what I mean? It smells, this will smell good with whatever you got going on. Like if you are in a work environment, it'll smell great. If you're in school, smells great. Going on a date, it will smell great. It's just maybe not the go-to beach fragrance, you know what I'm saying? But it can work. It can work really well. Like if you are an athletic sort of person, if you're someone just looking for a great signature scent that's gonna be able to keep up with you in any sort of occasion, like the fragrance you throw in your bag when you're traveling, right? Then you'll still smell good with this scent. But just do be cautious that performance with a lot of people isn't the best. That is the biggest Achilles heel of L'Homme, is the fact that people complain about the longevity of the scent. So honestly, my advice would be, if you really love this fragrance, just get the giant bottle of it. Like you've seen it, the long, tall, skinny bottle of this fragrance, and just overspray it. Seriously, you're gonna be fine. Or if you have molecule or 1-biocentric molecules, you can also spray that fragrance on top of this, and that should be able to work too in terms of longevity. Projection is a different story, all right? With projection, I would say you definitely have to overspray this fragrance depending on how long you want it to last. But like for me, y'all, there's really nothing I hate about L'Homme. Seriously, it is like, this is a blind buy worthy fragrance. It's also a gift worthy scent. If you don't know what to give somebody that is having a special moment in their life, you're like, damn, it's their birthday or it's their graduation. What do I give? Oh, let me give a nice fragrance, maybe something clean, inoffensive, something like L'Homme. And another one of my favorite things about this fragrance that I slightly touched on is the sensuality of this scent. It's not in your face, oh, this is super sexy. Like, it's not something that when you smell for the first time, it punches you in the throat with how aggressive it is and how noticeable it is, right? But this works best for me during intimate types of conversations, right? You're kind of getting closer to one another, or this person is just like right in front of you having a great conversation, and they just smell L'Homme just wafting off of you. It's really nice. It's just, I have yet to meet a single person that has hated this fragrance, that has had any bad thing to say about it. Again, the smell is what I'm specifying here, because yes, longevity gets crapped on all the time, but smell alone, I find this to be a masterpiece designer fragrance, hands down. And there's not really a question about it. When you have something that you know that I can confidently say 30 years down the line, 50 years down the line, a type of smell that is still gonna work for that time period, whatever, then to me, that's a special type of fragrance, because there's a lot of things that are very trendy at the moment that might phase out in 10, 20 years time. But this one, it's been around for almost 20 years now, and it's still a staple fragrance. In fact, there are people that are older, I think people now in their 40s, that have told me that they bought this in their late 20s and they're still rocking it as a signature scent. And people in their age demographic in the 40s loved it. And also when they wore it in their late 20s, it was still really well received. And even people my age right now, 20 years later, or nearly 20 years later from that time, are still really enjoying the scent. And it's a standout fragrance on the designer side. It is something that people still know of. But I do want to say that I don't find this to be an overrated fragrance by any means, or like overly popular to a point that buying it is going to be not standoutish, if you will, because there are some people that ask me if they should get a fragrance or if it's too overdone, right? Or they usually ask for they're like, is it overrated if I buy this scent? To be honest, I hate using the word overrated because fragrances are subjective. And also, the population where you live is so different from person to person, so I can't generalize that. You know what I mean? But I think that L'Homme is definitely popular within the fragrance community, and there are your regular people that know of this fragrance, but it's not the type of scent that you have smelled on everyone, right? Where people are just going to identify that and be like, oh, that's L'Homme, to the, like, in comparison to the popularity of something like Dior Sauvage in this day and age, you know? So don't be worried about getting this fragrance and, oh, smelling it on a bunch of different people. You have to also remember that majority of people don't even wear fragrances to begin with. And if they do, they're going to wear fragrances during special occasions, right? A lot of people don't wear scents just on a day-to-day basis. So if you're looking to kind of cement your reputation as someone that always smells good, so when people think of you, they're like, oh yeah, that's this person, they always smell fantastic, then go with L'Homme. I will say, based on reactions from people, you know what, this has been well received from men as well when I've worn it, but it really is women that just love this scent when I wear it. It's just like when I give hugs, it's a great intimate fragrance. They're always kind of like deep sniffing my neck whenever I used to wear the scent. So I'm very happy that I have it back in my collection. And it also was something that I would love to layer with other fragrances because I think it would serve as like a solid base. Like the smell of it is fantastic. And if I add something on top of it, it'll smell good too. I honestly feel like this and Aqua Oud would bang because Aqua Oud, I did 2 sprays of it on my shirt yesterday and I still smelled it this morning. So that is a powerhouse fragrance. But I think this DNA mixed with that one would still smell great. But again, this by itself, superstar. Master, not masterful. What was the masterpiece? Jeez, I don't know. I forgot the word that I was going to say, but definitely a masterpiece type of fragrance for sure. All right. So in the comment section below, let me know what you think of L'Homme, if you're rocking with it, if you're not, if you used to have it and then you phased out of it, or if it's something that you ignored before and now you just can't get enough of. And also let us know in the comment section how it was received with people around you, okay? I know that there's a lot of people that comment and say, I would never wear fragrances for other people. I do it for myself. And that's so great. That's the baseline. Of course, you want to wear something that you enjoy, but there are also people on this channel that want to see how it is in terms of compliment factor. And in my experience, it is a double thumbs up. It is a great compliment getting type of fragrance that you're also going to enjoy wearing and that is inoffensive to yourself. All right. So shout out Max Aroma for sending this over. I made a video about a fragrance haul that I did. And this is not sponsored, by the way. Like, all thoughts and opinions are my own, as they have been with every single YouTube video that I've posted up to this date. All right. I hope y'all have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.